guys? Week 2. So you got 1 week of virtual learning under your belt, and I must say you guys did a great job. There were a few people that asked, like, where do I post my work? So I don't really care if you post it on Google Classroom or just send me a picture of your work. And it doesn't have to be on the exact sheet that I post. If you just want to write down the problems and write your answers all worked out on a piece of notebook paper or just a piece of paper, whatever you got, I will take. I'm not going to be picky about that. So this week I'm going to work on giving you feedback from last week. But yeah, this whole quarantine thing's kind of crazy. As you can tell, Lady is very, very concerned about it. She has taken several naps today to console herself with it. But I just want to say that I never in my life thought that I would miss school as much as I do right now. So I miss all of your faces, and I hope that you're having a safe but good time at home. And just stay healthy, and hopefully I get to see you guys before May, because who knows at this point. But yeah, email with questions. I can do video chats or whatever. If you are not understanding something, just really reach out, advocate for yourself. But yeah, I really miss you guys, and I hope you have a really good week this week. Bye. Lady, can you say bye? She says bye, I promise. She's pathetic, but I love her. All right, some of you guys actually looked ahead and were trying to do 6.2 after you did 6.1, which is awesome. But you probably noticed that when you were looking at this example, 12, 28, 21, and 49, all 4 of them didn't have something in common. So what happens when we have a polynomial with 4 terms and we don't have that thing in common, that common factor? So we are going to do factoring by grouping. So we are going to group this so that 2 things is a lot easier to look at than 4, right? Because 2 is a lot easier to think through. So here is my first group. 12x to the third and 28x squared. So I'm going to completely ignore this second group here, and I'm just going to pretend that this is exactly what you guys did last week. So 12 and 28, I know both have 4 in common. That is the highest number I can divide out of them. And if I notice, both of them have x's, and the lowest amount of x's is x squared. So that is what I'm going to take out. Let me move this. Okay, so 4x squared is what comes out. That's what goes outside of my parentheses. And then I'm just going to do my dividing again. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. X to the third, if I divide out x squared, I still have 1x left over. Then this one is negative 28 divided by 4, which is negative 7. And then I know x squared and x squared would actually cancel out, so there's no x's left. So there's my first group, right? So now this factoring by grouping is kind of weird in the sense that whatever is going to be outside of this second group will give me the same as what's in here. So I'm going to copy this in here, 3x minus 7, okay? Because these 2 parentheses are always, always, always going to be the same. What I need to figure out is what goes here. So multiplication for me is a lot easier than division. So what number times 3x will give me negative 21x? Well, that's easy. That's going to be a negative number, and negative 7 is actually what is going to give me negative 21. And if you notice, negative 7 times negative 7 actually gives me positive 49. So there's my two groups where I have something factored out of each group. So to get our final answer, this is where the magic happens. Obviously, these two are the same, right? We're going to take one of those because that's part of our answer. So 3x minus 7, that's one part of our answer. The other part comes from these two things outside. I'm going to put them together. So 4x squared minus 7, because this was minus 7, comes down. And there is my factored group here. So if you took the time to multiply these two things together, we would end up with this 12x to the third minus 28x squared minus 21x plus 49. I could show that to you, but I promise you, if you multiply them, that's what you're going to get. Okay, so let's do another one. So let's do number 2. So again, I'm going to just focus on the first two. So 16 and 20. Well, I know both of those can be divided by 4. All right. And then once again, I have n to the third and n squared. So they both have n. So I'm going to go with the lowest amount, which is squared. So n squared gets to come out. So 4n squared is what's outside. Now I need to do my dividing. So 16 divided by 4 leaves 4. N to the third, if I divide out 2 of those n's, I still have 1 n left over. Then I have positive 20 divided by 4 is a positive 5. I know these n squareds cancel, so there's nothing left. So then I'm going to put my blank, and then I'm going to rewrite what's in my parentheses, 4n plus 5. So now I need to ask myself, what times 4n would give me 12n? Well, that's a positive number, because positive times a positive will give me a positive. Well, positive 3 times 4n will give me 12n. And again, if you notice, 3 times 5 would give me 15. So now that I have those two things, I'm going to copy down one of the things in the parentheses. So this 4n plus 5 that was in both of these is part of my answer. The other part of my answer is the two things on the outside. So 4n squared plus 3. Now, one thing that I want to make note of is the order. I could write this set of parentheses first and this one second. It really doesn't matter because with multiplication, order doesn't matter. For example, if I do 4 times 3, that gives me 12, right? Well, 3 times 4 still gives me 12. So order doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter which one of these you write first because it's still going to give you that original answer. Let's do one more because I think you guys will get it after this. Let's do one with kind of big numbers. So let's skip number 3 and let's do this one that has bigger numbers in number 4. So I have 18 and I have 21. So again, I could use that factoring sheet that I posted on the other two assignments. I'll post it on this one as well. But again, you're looking for that number that both numbers can divide by, which is in this case 3. And then again, we should know since they both have x's, they're both going to have x's, but it's always the lowest amount. So this one has 3, this one has 2, so the lowest amount here is 2. So that's what goes on the outside. Now we divide. So 18 divided by 3 is 6, but there should be 1 x left over because there was 3, we took out 2 of them, so there's that x that was left over. 21 divided by 3 is positive 7, and then x squared and x squared cancel out, which they should every single time. Then I'm going to leave that blank, and I'm going to rewrite 6x plus 7 because I know that it has to match. So again, I'm asking myself, what times 6x will end up giving me 42x? Well, I know it's a positive number because positive and positive will give me a positive. So my answer needs to be what? Hopefully you said 7. So now you have all the parts, you're ready to write your answer. So since we have 2 of these, I'm going to write one of them. And then I'm going to put these 2 outside pieces together. So 3x squared plus 7. And that is factoring by grouping. So this works whenever all of the pieces don't have something in common. So if you have questions, again, feel free to email me. You guys are doing a great job asking questions if you don't understand. And I will post extra videos if need be. So just let me know, and like I said, get those assignments in by Friday.